Hello, Ruby. We are back for our deep dive episode on women, chosen women, and how they are attacked, unseen, and how to deal with it. If you are a quadruple threat woman, this episode is going to be for you, especially if you are a younger woman. Or you are a woman that is rebranding and rebirthing in life, and you notice that you're getting a lot of pushback from older persons around you, then baby, come on in. This episode is going to be for you. Why is it that some older women throw shade instead of support? Okay, I've been there and done that. I can tell you, you cannot avoid them. They're everywhere. One of the things I used to do was run away from situations where these type of women were. And I realized that every place I went, there was one of them. And I had to stop running from them. And I had to learn how to deal with them. So it taught me patience. It taught me strategy. And it taught me to be more confident because they are banking on you to lose your confidence. Let's talk about the root of jealousy, especially in women that are much older than you, and why it can show up strong when you are stepping into your power, beauty, or a new season. Anytime that you are a younger lady, and this is for any woman that is going through a new season in your life, because anytime you go into a new season, you're becoming a new person. Or if you are a younger woman and you're dealing with this on a regular basis, one of the things I want you to know is that wherever you go, you will encounter this. So it's just best to learn how to strategize and deal with it. Now, the reason that there has been an influx of a lot of bitter older people in general is because society has created silent competition amongst women. And I'm going to talk about how society's conditions on women to compete with each other for attention, especially men, jobs, and social clout, has caused this to become a pandemic of bitterness. When social media became introduced, you were able to have access to people's lives in a very uncomfortable way. And it has become so intimate that you are able to see what people eat for breakfast. There was a time we didn't have this type of access. So now, because social media has opened up that door of comparison, and comparison is the thief of joy, right? What is now happening is that every woman thinks that they're supposed to be doing the same thing another woman is supposed to be doing. This is why, for me, I post my content and I get off the internet. After I post, I get off the internet. Or I only follow women that will inspire me. So if I have a particular problem I want to know how to solve, like the other day I wanted to know how to count calories, I follow women that teach me how to count calories, because it's never going to be a negative feeling towards them because I look at them as a teacher. Now, what happens is when you start to follow women that are 10 times more ahead than you, and nothing that they are doing currently, you are trying to learn. Therefore, feelings of jealousy can evoke. Wise, older women now have access to younger women's lives. So we think now it's common to see a younger woman pop off and be so successful. So then those older women start to live in regret. They start to regret that life wasn't the way that it is for this younger girl. Now, what is happening also too, a lot of younger women, because we are in the era of having access to information that our older aunties did not have access to, we were able to make conscious decisions. We were able to to actually know what hypergamy really meant. We were able to understand the detriment of being a woman that wanted to be a stay-at-home wife but didn't pursue any education after. We have realized how it is for a woman. It's best to do this, and this first before you do this, and that. We have even come across financial content that tells you that debt is not normal. The Bible tells you that. So we now have access to information that we can live better quality lives. And there are going to be some women that have not let go, older women that have not let go of the past, and they're angry that you had access to that information and they didn't. But their decisions was only based on what they had access to in that moment. And they have to give themselves grace. The world has changed, because imagine how it's going to be 20 years from now. Okay? Another thing that social media has detrimentally done to the older woman is that they make older women feel like when they age, they're losing value. Because there's always going to be a brand new young thing on the block. Because people are having babies every day and they're going to get older. So what is happening now, many social media toxic social media outputs. Red pill information out there is discussing how aging literally makes women lose value, and that's not the case, especially in environments where they feel like it's looks driven and it's male centric environments. You know, that conversation came about for men. That didn't come about for women. That came about for men, because I love my granny. Like, I love being around my granny. I looked at older women as a source of wisdom. But society makes it seem like aging is something that is bad. Social media made it feel that way, especially with the heightened of cosmetic procedures and the obsession of trying to stay looking young. So they made women stay trapped in one mindset of, I have to stay young forever. They don't want you to gracefully age, but aging is a blessing, darling. This is why I always tell women to not waste their time in their youth, because I want to be the auntie that helps the younger girls. I want to be a wisdom pillar. Like, I want to be that woman that is so graceful and so intelligent and so poised that persons look at me and say, I just know she was just all of that. She was that girl when she's younger, because she is aged gracefully. I'm going to be the woman who aged gracefully, baby. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to be okay trying to fight to hold on to youth. Because, baby, those first part of my early 20s were rough. I'm so happy that I'm at this stage in my life, in my later 20s, where a lot of things I ain't fighting for no more. Okay? The next thing is, a lot of times social media has exposed women to think in a scarcity mindset. And this plays a role in believing that there's only so much love out there, or success or beauty to go around. This is what has caused the pandemic of jealous aunties, jealous Grammys. Well, now you have older women trying to compete with young women on a whole different level. And it's because, like I said, the uncomfortable amount of intimate moments we can now see in people's lives. Now we could see every engagement, when there was a time you didn't know until the wedding happened. There was a time we could see people take vacations when we didn't know until you reach back on Facebook to post the pictures, to upload from your camera. Now you can take a picture on your phone and post it in real time. So this is causing imbalance. And one of the things that I did notice is that these bitter aunties out here, they get more aggressive. They're getting more aggressive towards younger women because they feel like they wasted their time. And this is why I urge every Ruby to heal yourself. Because when you heal yourself, you prevent yourself from succumbing to the bitter auntie syndrome. Okay? Many older women are going to come at you in ways that you don't even understand. Can I tell you, like I say, on every job, I had an older woman that was very, very nasty to me, or they were very passive aggressive, and they would come at me for the way that I dress. They would come at me for the way that I do stuff. They would even, I had a woman in, I don't know if she's currently still in that stage of her life, but she was so jealous of me because I was about to get a promotion that she wanted. And she would say remarks like, oh, I tell my husband, I have a young boss. Like, she would say things like that. And I didn't pick up on it. Like I said, I was still young. I didn't pick up on it, but those are the type of things they're very nice, nasty. And as a woman that is called and chosen, and you realize that, and you walk into your power early, you need to pray against bitter aunties. You need to pray against salts. Pray against salts. I mean it. Because they are there to stop whatever it is that you have to do. Now, jealousy in older women usually stems from when they regret missed opportunities, relationships that didn't work out, and unfulfilled dreams. And one of the reasons to counteract that is you have to capitalize on your youth as a woman. As a Ruby, please capitalize whilst you are strong. The Bible says, I call you because you are young and strong. In this moment, I'm telling you this so you can age properly. And you don't have to be around here idolizing another younger woman. Is to capitalize on everything that you want to do as it comes. Sometimes when you see a woman is jealous, it isn't even because of you. It's because who she used to be or who she never became. That's why there are older jealous women that attack young women. It is because they are jealous of who they used to be. They're angry that they're no longer who they used to be, and they didn't grow enough, that they are actually jealous of you because you're somebody that they never became. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes she's not even jealous of you. It is who she used to be or who she never got to become. And this is a cautionary tale to younger women, including myself. You walk away when you need to walk away. You do what you need to do when it's time to do it. You don't let no man run you down and beat up on you. You live vividly whilst you have the strength, because I want you to know time is going to come when you can't do certain things anymore. Don't let nobody waste your time. Remember, I tell you, the enemy biggest weapon is to waste your time. That's why a lot of women are out there very jealous of you, because they are living in regret of what they didn't get to do. Now, there's something about understanding as a woman as you grow. Growth requires self-reflection, and some women never get the chance or tools to do that work. So when you see that you're dealing with a bitter auntie on your job, a bitter auntie in your family, a bitter auntie in the food store, the reason that they are there is because they didn't grow gently. To grow gently means that you put away certain mindsets as you enter into a new phase in your life. So there are going to be some bitter aunties out there that are jealous of you because they have a wide back now, and you decided to take fitness serious early on in your life and they didn't. So now they're jealous of you because they have a wide back now and they know that's not your future because you decided to take yourself seriously from young. I promise you, this is the idea. This is the ideology. There's going to be a young woman out there that is mad that you dress up and you show up every day because they realize that they decided to be a plain Jane. And because you want to dress up and wear makeup and look a certain way, that they're angry because they look at themselves now and they realize that they don't have that same attraction anymore. As you grow, you notice the goal for a woman as she ages, that your inner beauty starts to see more in your outer beauty, because your outer beauty is going to fade away, and you will always see a woman that is content and who age gracefully. I love to see a woman that is aged gracefully. It showed me that in your younger years, you lived a life that you wanted to live, and you weren't caught up for the other things that's going on around you. Now, the signs that you are dealing with a bitter auntie is that you're going to notice, and this is signs of jealousy also in disguise, is that they have very passive aggressive comments towards you. These are the women that are nice, nasty. These are the women that compliments you and then tells you something what is wrong shortly after. These are the women, because you do it and other people are doing it, they don't like it because you did it. I can tell you I've experienced something before where there was this particular pants that I had on and other people wore this exact same pants. It was just that I probably am noticeable because it complements how I looked, and I'm a person, I wear heels. Do you know that I was chastised for mine, but others weren't, because of how I showed up in mine? Passive aggressive, nice, nasty. The next thing you're going to know is that they start to compete with you unnecessarily. Can I tell you, I've encountered older women trying to figure out who my love interest is, and they will go up to somebody they suspect is a love interest and say things like, I don't want any problems with your interest. They do things like that. Nice, nasty, because they want the things that they think that you have. They want the things that they think that you have. You will see that these are the women that undermine your glow up and your accomplishments. These are the ones that say, I'm so happy that you did it. Maybe you can do something like this. They never could give you your flowers without saying, but or baby, Annie. And when you encounter these type of women, do not even feed into their BS. Don't even feed into it. Don't even give them the time of day. I don't care. That's your business, not mine. And that hurts them. Let me tell you something. It hurts them when you do things like that. It absolutely hurts to the core. The next thing you notice is that they gossip and disguise it as concern. So these are the aunties that want to find out your business, want to find out why you down today, so they can run back to their groups and tell persons about how you're going through something in your life. They use that as opportunities, because at the first sign of you not being perfect, because they feel that you are better than them, they go in their groups and they begin to gossip about you up. Bitter auntie. They will give you backhanded mentorships. And I think that there's a YouTube video on this platform, and I want every young girl to go in and watch that. Don't accept all advice. Don't accept all advice. Don't accept it. They give you backhanded mentorship or unsolicited criticism. These are the ones you won't even ask them for their input, but they're giving you input on how you should do things. That is the sign of a jealous auntie, a bitter auntie. I want to be the auntie that my nieces and nephews are very happy to be around, because they say auntie is high on life. I don't want to be the auntie that people say I don't want to be around because it's always something. Her face always look mash. She always look disgruntled. I don't want to be that. I want to be the happy auntie. Okay? Now, what to do when you see these signs or you sense it? That's when you go into overdrive, Ruby, and you need to protect your energy. Don't shrink and don't make that bitter honey comfortable. Baby, you watching me? Baby, I'm going to give you a fashion show right now. That is when you protect your energy and you don't shrink, because the bitter honey they want to take a jab at your confidence. You know what I did when that happened? Because I realized that there were probably other bitter aunties that downloaded into that auntie to be the one to come and tell me that. I said, well, you can get me something that you feel is ravish. And I said, matter of fact, I'll go back to skirts. Yep. You have to be able to protect your energy and do not shrink to make them feel comfortable. The next thing is you show grace, but don't tolerate disrespect. You put them in their place. You put them in their place. And that's when they know not to cross boundaries. When I do this with monitoring spirits all the time. I don't care if you feel that I'm a nasty person. I'm not nasty. I'm just not allowing you to get one up on me. And you're not going to come around me with that. Sometimes you have to show people that you don't play. Simple as that. So when they get very rude and very nasty, I don't tolerate it. I put you inside of your place. I don't have to curse. I don't have to raise my voice. I have to say, well, I put people in their place for being like, that's your opinion, not mine. And I can just walk away and that's your business. They want you to feed into their energy. Understand that it's not personal. It is just projection. This is how you deal with it when you sense it. Understand that this is coming from a place of where they're unhappy in their lives. It ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why I tell you, I always tell people that try to be nice, nasty with me, that's your opinion. It's not mine. It's not mine. There was a time in my career where there was a nice, nasty woman, because her friend wanted this particular promotion, that they said that I was too nice to my staff, that I was too helpful to my staff. Have you ever? I tell y'all, they everywhere. They manifest everywhere, and I could not believe it. And guess what? You know what happened? Of like a few years later to that lady that tried to attack me for a friend? She lost her job as well. She lost her job, and it was in a very in a very embarrassing way. These type of persons, they don't reign long. Their reign comes to an end eventually, but what they want to do is that when their reign comes to an end, they want to drag people down with them. Their reign comes to an end very quickly, very, very quickly. And then on my Patreon, I'm going to give you a story about what happened to the other woman. I think that's Patreon worthy. For the girlies that really want to hear it, the rubies that really want to learn a life lesson. That's why I tell you, you don't dim your light. You keep going. You keep going. You don't let their bitter energy consume you. Do you know bitterness and unforgiveness and carrying heavy burdens in your body can cause cancer growth? That's why a lot of people have cancer. Unforgiveness and bitterness. Do not enter into a bitter auntie and do not succumb to its injuries, because that's what happens. The next thing is call it out or distance yourself depending on the relationship. So anytime I see somebody being bitter, I distance myself from you, because I don't have to interact with you on a daily basis anyway, ma'am. And they don't like it. They get angry when you decide to not want to be a part of their conversations or circles. You don't notice that the woman in the office, always the very nice, attractive, beautiful woman in the office who don't bother with nobody, people just randomly pick on. You don't even know if she is a man or a woman and you are picking on her. She doesn't bother with people. They don't like it. Bitter aunties do not like it. And then another thing, girly, I want you to also look out for is that these bitter aunties will always tell you something about yourself, and then they go ahead a couple days later and do it. They will tell you like, oh, that hair color didn't suit you. And then you'll notice a couple of weeks later, they come with the same hair color. Can I told you, I've had a monitoring spirit compliment the color of my hair and say, I can't wait for you to take this out so I can put it into. And I didn't acknowledge the monitoring spirit because they wanted me to. Because they wanted to get a rise to see what it is that can cost me to get knocked off my feet. I tell you, mostly in bitter aunties are monitoring spirits. I'm telling you, monitoring spirits and spirits of Saul, the python spirit. They want to kill everything that you have going on because they feel as if that things for them when they were younger were killed as well. I'm telling you, beware of the bitter aunties. And I'm going to do a deep dive on my Patreon channel where persons are going to be able to hear real life stories and how I dealt with it and the outcome of certain things. But until then, I want you to realize this as a young woman that is a quadruple threat, who is a beautiful woman that has so much life ahead of you. Jealousy is a mirror. It's not a weapon. The glow up isn't just about looking good. It's about healing. and to not dim another woman's light. Whether you are the one feeling it or receiving it, it is time to break the cycle. You can't run from it. I tried to run from it all my life. And then there was one particular time God made me stay in an environment and learn how to deal with it. That he did not allow me to get out of that environment until I learned how to tackle it, because that particular spirit or demon will pop up everywhere you go. It is attached to the gift. So your gift has a smell, a beautiful scent, a beautiful aroma. So when an aroma is given, there's going to be something that's going to smell it and want to keep tracking behind it. When you are dealing with jealous older women as a young woman, the best thing for you to do is two things. Well, three. You pray for protection. You don't entertain them, and you lay down boundaries. Simple. Simple as that. Thank you for coming to another deep dive, Rubies. I'll see y'all in part 5. Bye.